Hi guys, what's going on? It's Ben here, and I'm back today with a video. This one is going to be about Andrew Wiggins, and basically I'm going to discuss why he gets so much criticism and where that criticism comes from, essentially. Because I feel like he is, if not the most, one of the most criticized players in the NBA today. And I want to explain why people criticize him, like at specific parts of his game, and then I think what the root cause of all of the flack that he gets is, because I think it came from one specific place, and so I'm going to discuss that a bit and just give some background information. So obviously, I'm pretty familiar with Andrew Wiggins because I follow the Timberwolves. Um, and I've basically seen him in every stage of his career. And okay, so first I'll go over some of his career statistics, just so you can have some background information on him. For his career, this is his fifth season currently. He averages 19 and a half points a game for his career, 4 rebounds, 2 assists a game, 1 steal, half a block a game, shooting 44% from the field and 33% from three, and 74% from the line. So as you can see, not great numbers by any means as far as like efficiency. If he 16 shots a game per his career, shooting 44% isn't great. You'd like a baseline in the NBA would usually be around 45% is what you'd want. Along with that, 33% from three isn't great. He shoots three a game. His percentage has been increasing over the years. In this current season, he's shooting 36% from three, which is a bit better, but still not great. Especially now, he's taking 5 threes a game, so you would want that number to get a bit higher. But he's improving in that category. But overall, he's basically disappointed a lot of people in his play, especially the rebounds and assists per game. Uh, Essentially what people were expecting from him was around 23 points a night and 7 rebounds and 5 to 6 assists a game. And so him only getting 4 rebounds a night and 2 assists a game for his career has been pretty disappointing. Uh, I'll just go through his year by year numbers really quick. So assists and rebounds has basically always been at 4 and 2. So points per game, he had 17 a game his rookie year, then 21, then up to 24, then down last year to 18, and now this year he's right around 17 points per game. And so he did show a flash 2 years ago, averaging 24 points a game, that he could be a serious scorer in this league. He shot 45% from the field that year and 36% from three, so that was basically his all-around best season. But why has he regressed? Well, that's basically just because they got Jimmy Butler and he was getting less shot attempts per game. But so the main knock you always hear about Andrew Wiggins is, well, he has all this potential, but he doesn't give enough effort. He only cares about getting paid. He doesn't care about winning. He has no like love for the game. He's just in it to make money, and he just doesn't have an engine to him. He has no motor, despite being really athletic and being able to dominate a game if he wanted to. He settles for a lot of mid-range jump shots instead of attacking the hoop or improving his three-point shot. These are all the really common things you hear about Andrew Wiggins as far as why he isn't a good NBA player. He doesn't try on defense. He actually has been the worst defender in the NBA as far as defensive rating and efficiency some of the last couple of years. So he is very bad on defense, whereas people thought he'd be a lockdown defender. He's 6'8", he's really long. That should be really good for steals and such, but people criticize him basically because he just coasts on defense and waits for the ball on offense. His best form of scoring is slashing, but defenses can sit back on him because he doesn't have a reliable jump shot, so then they can sit in the paint on him, and slashing isn't as valuable when you can't back it up with a good jump shot to make them respect you both outside and inside. So Andrew Wiggins, those are some of the knocks on his game essentially. And so I'm going to get into the big factor that I think the root cause of all these criticisms is, I don't think that Andrew Wiggins is a bad player, and I don't think that the people who criticize him think that either. I think what the problem is that when Andrew Wiggins came out, same with a lot of players who come into the draft, we're told they're the next blank. And when they're not that player, we are automatically disappointed, even if they are a decent player. So what was heard when Andrew Wiggins came out? We heard the next LeBron James, like many other players when they come out, much like Jabari Parker when he came out. The next LeBron James, 6'8", can score really well, really athletic. Next LeBron James. And so when Andrew Wiggins came out, that was said about him. Um, then after like his first or second season, people said, okay, like he's really skinny, but he's still really long and wiry and seems like a really good scorer. So then people moved off the LeBron thing because Wiggins didn't seem much like a playmaker, but he still seemed like a really good scorer. And then people compared his body type to Tracy McGrady, and they said, oh, T-Mac was about the same exact build, and he was a great scorer, and Wiggins seems like a really good scorer. So Wiggins is the next Tracy McGrady. And so far, Wiggins really hasn't seemed like that either, in that basically he doesn't have the jump shot that McGrady did. He doesn't really have as much of a killer instinct yet that McGrady seemed to display. Um, so that's really what I'm getting at here, is that these expectations, like I'm trying to think of a good comparison for this. Let's say that you uh, go into a movie that you haven't heard anything about, and you like it, and at the end of the movie you give it an 8 out of 10. So that's like pretty good, If someone asks you like on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you like it? And you say like an 8, and you're like, yeah, that's like pretty good. I like that movie a lot. But now let's say somebody told you that this is the best movie they've ever seen. It's amazing, it's wonderful, it's yada yada yada. So going into it, you expect the movie to be like a perfect 10 out of 10. And then when you leave, you're like, that was not a 10 out of 10. That was only like an 8 out of 10. You're gonna leave feeling disappointed because you thought you were gonna see the best thing ever, and you only saw an 8 out of 10. Now, in both scenarios, you saw the same movie, but in one, you leave like feeling pretty happy that you enjoyed the movie, that it was good, etc. But in the other movie, you leave feeling disappointed and almost upset because you had such high expectations and they weren't met. Despite it being an alright movie, you end up feeling disappointed. Now this is obviously different than how I would compare Andrew Wiggins. I'm not saying he's an 8 out of 10 player or anything like that, but what I'm saying is, because the expectations for Andrew Wiggins were so high, he had to either be Tracy McGrady or LeBron James. If he wasn't one of those two players, uh, and if he didn't play exactly like them or live up to that expectation, he was going to be a disappointment in anyone's eyes. And I think that because of that, he gets criticized so much and he's seen as a failure or a disappointment, which I don't think he is. I think if people would have had reasonable expectations for him, then people would be fine with the player he is. But because people expected him to be the best player in the game, now people are disappointed because he's just like a solid starter in the NBA, possibly not even all-star level. And so I was thinking a lot, and I was trying to figure out who would have been a better draft comparison for Andrew Wiggins. Who does he play a lot more like? Who is he a lot more similar to, just in his style and everything like that? And the player I ultimately came up with was Rudy Gay. So if you're unfamiliar with Rudy Gay, he played for a long time for the Grizzlies, then he got traded to Toronto, then Sacramento, and now he's with San Antonio. A pretty decent player, never all-star, but like always a pretty solid starter. His career numbers are 18 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. For his career, he shot 46% from the field, along with 35% from 3, and about 80% from the line. And to me, this is the guy that we should have been comparing Andrew Wiggins to. A guy that basically is like an okay 3-point shooter, likes to score at the rim a lot. His main offensive asset is being able to slash to the rim. He isn't going to do much else for you. He's a pretty, I'd say Rudy Gay is a better defender than Andrew Wiggins, but he's like an average NBA defender. He's only better than Wiggins because Wiggins is bad on that end of the floor. But like he doesn't really assist much, only 2 a game for his career. Rebounds, he gets 6, and that's all right for a small forward, but you know, it could be better. It could be 8. Um, yeah, like he plays exactly like Wiggins to me. Really only cares about scoring and isn't going to give you that much else, which isn't inherently a bad thing, but somehow we assume it is a bad thing. But my point is, he's a valuable player in the NBA. He is like the 3rd best scorer on San Antonio right now, which is a playoff team. He was arguably the 1st or 2nd best player on a few Memphis playoff teams. So that being said, I think that what would have changed people's perspective on Andrew Wiggins is different expectations and comparisons going into the draft. If people would have said Andrew Wiggins is the next Rudy Gay, then people would be pretty satisfied with what Andrew Wiggins is doing right now. But because people said LeBron James and then Tracy McGrady, people are vastly disappointed with what Andrew Wiggins is producing in the NBA. So that being said, if you hate on Andrew Wiggins, maybe try to keep that in mind, that the reason might just be because of expectations. Um, so that being said, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys think about this idea a little bit and maybe go a little bit easier on Andrew Wiggins. Now, does he disappoint in a lot of scenarios? Yes. Does he come up short in a lot of scenarios? Yes. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just saying that our expectations for him are too high, and what we should really expect from him is 20 points a game on 47% shooting. That should be his goal, and we shouldn't expect anything else from him. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good day. Bye.